Hello, this is the Tepid Coder. In this video, I want to continue doing some parsing. So one thing I want to detect is when a fight ends. And if you notice, there are a couple things right here we can look at. Right here we see you've slain a fire goblin scout. Well, if the mob's dead, then you've probably killed it, right? So the fight's ended. So I'm going to save this for later. Also, I see loading please wait. It happens when you zone. Someone casted some gate spell, but anytime you zone somewhere new, just because you hit a zone line, or because someone ports you somewhere, or because you die, it's going to say loading please wait. That's something else we can take. So I'm actually going to copy, where is it? Right here, both these. And we're not going to need this anymore. I'm just going to close that. Yep. Okay, let's actually paste some of this junk in here. So, right there. That's what I care about, these. So let's actually try to match these lines. So I'm going to say we have a new regular expression. Oh, by the way, in case I didn't post these videos earlier, I made a class called monthHasher, which essentially is doing the same thing I was doing with the unordered map. It uses a hash internally. If you do standard unordered map of some key to some value, the key gets hashed, and that hash is used to look up the value. And sometimes you can have two hashes that have the same value, and once that happens, you'll have to linearly search through an array of things that share the same hash until you find the exact match you want. I created a hash table that essentially jumps directly to an exact value, because there's only 12 possible months, so there's 12 possible hashes. So I was able to hash the 3-character month name and convert that into the index of an array, and then from there I was able to access the index of the month from the hash. So if I'm clear about this, it's something like you have Jan hash, and then you go from hash into month index. So that's basically what my monthHasher is doing right here. And I can show that down here with the, where is it? Right here. So I generate a hash from the abbreviated month, which we're parsing at match 1. We get stir from that, which is a standard string, and from that we're calling the cstring method to get a const pointer. So all of that is getting passed to my hash function. Cool. And then I'm using that as the index into an array. It's stored inside of the class, which has 12 possible hashes. And what I'm using here is actually an operator overload for when someone passes me an unsigned 16-bit integer. It will then return an unsigned 8-bit integer, which is the index of the month from 0 to 11. So I'm using that instead of on map. There's no real reason I did that. It's just another video I made in case I wanted to show off like what's happening internally in this and how you can really quickly index things. Instead of having to match, you just do some calculations to get a number and then use that number to index into an array. It's like basically the fastest way to grab data. Of course, it depends if like there's a cache line involved, how big your data is. Sometimes it's quicker maybe just to test everything if it's on the same cache line. Anyway, I felt like doing it and I did. I don't know if I'll post a video or not, but just know that's what's going on here. So what I want to do here is I want to make a new regular expression that's going to match those kinds of lines. So I'm going to copy this twice. Okay. And then what I want here is to say you have slain blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, where are we? So you have, or someone has slain, I think. So W plus W, I'm going to say have. I'm not capturing this. That's what question mark colon means. Or has slain. Okay. And then the exclamation point. So you or someone have or has slain something. That something can be 0 more characters. There can be space before that. There's no space after that, but there is an exclamation point at the end. Okay. And loading please wait should be even easier. I can literally just paste that in there. Loading please wait with 3 dots, but these dots have to be escaped. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Cool. This is going to be stir zone regex. Actually, no, it's not. It's going to be slay regex. This will be zone regex. Alright, let's test both these regular expressions against their strings that I built them off of to make sure they work. So I'm going to say standard regex. I'll copy it, whatever, fine. Paste. Do that twice. One's going to be my slay regex. One's going to be my zone regex. Okay, I'm going to test it against these strings. So, standard string stir slay equals, let's grab this whole thing. Paste that in. Okay. And then I'm going to do standard string stir zone equals that whole thing. Now, if, let's say, standard regex match, and I'm matching the stir slay string with, I need matches, so standard s match, not snatch, s match, let's call it slay matches. Okay, I'm going to put it in its own scope so I can reuse that later. Well, I'm not going to reuse slay matches, but whatever. I do like having it in its own scope, so I don't have to worry about it clobbering up the rest of the main function here. Okay, it's going to match that in, what is it, slay matches. And then it's using the regular expression, what did I call it? I didn't give it a name, did I? re slay regex. This will be re zone regex. Okay, re slay regex. Then I could say standard cout line the slay regular expression matched. Okay. Let's do the same thing for the zone one. Zone matches. Stir zone. Zone matches. Zone regex. The zone regular expression matched. Okay. Now we're in a good spot here. Test. Okay, they both matched. The slay regular expression matched and the zone regular expression matched. So now we're at the point where I need to actually start loading a file. And when I load the file, I need to start iterating through it line by line. So I want to break this stuff up into multiple functions. So I have my test case here. Let's actually start moving this into something different. When I print this out, I kind of want this to be less unwieldy. I could do something like standard, you know, v format 2. It would be cout, and then I would say like it's gonna be year, month, day, and the year is gonna be 04, 02, 02. So it's gonna pad with zeros up to 4 digits for the year. It's gonna pad with zeros up to 2 digits for the month, and pad with zeros for up to 2 digits for the day. Space, and it's gonna be the hour, minute, second. Okay. And same thing here. I want these each to be 2 digits. Okay. So at that time, I'm going to say so-and-so did so much damage. So-and-so dealt points of damage. Yeah. And I'll leave the old way in there just in case someone doesn't have C++20 to mess around with. So standard make format args. Okay. We're going to have UI16 year, UI8 whatever. So month, day. We're going to have hour, minute, second. Month. Okay. Day of month. Yep. Hour, minute, and whoa, second. Okay, that should be good. I'll just comment these out. Don't have to cast all that garbage anymore either. Okay, and then after that, it's going to be someone did so much damage. That's going to be stir actor, stir method, and then where's damage? Is it UI64? Yeah. UI64 damage. So-and-so dealt so much. someone like slashed, so-and-so slash, let's say, for that many points of damage. Yeah. That looks pretty good to me. So let's see if that still compiles. Okay. So there's the year, month, day, the hour, minute, second. You are the one who did it, and they slash for this much damage. Yeah. And there's the last seconds. Cool. That's looking a lot better already. Like, this is very unwieldy and gross looking, and this is very explicit what's happening. How I'm padding it and everything. I like that. Okay. So now, how do I want to break this up? Because what I'm going to need to do is read each line. For every line, I need to do this same thing. So, I kind of want to push this stuff into like a structure or something. Or a class. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick this into a class. Yeah. So let's do that up here. I'll make a new class. I'm going to call this, I can say DPSer, or I can call it like actor. I don't know. DPS actor, how about that? I'll be funny, I'll call him Pumper. We got a Pumper. This guy's pumping. So public, okay. Okay. Everything's gonna be 0 by default. Don't really need to initialize it or anything, but I like to do that. Plus, if something happened at year 0, you know something went wrong, which is kind of nice. I don't know what mark set means. I don't really care though either. Okay. Okay. Again. 0. Okay. Make sure I know these are all members. Oh, come on. Alright. Now I can make some constructors. So, Pumper. Okay. Think about this for a second. I kind of want regular expressions to handle these things. I don't think I need to, though. I really don't think I need to, because I'm going to have a different class that's managing the state. So I'm going to delete the default constructor. So Pumper. I basically just want to paste this garbage in again. Whoa. Okay. Okay, I'm going to place all of this with that plus 2. Okay, we're done. Cool. No. Nice try. Yeah. I'll do that. Okay, let's start making these functions here, or methods. So pumper, pumpernickel. Okay. And actually, yeah. Let's see what the type, so I'm just gonna do that again. What am I doing here? Closing parenthesis, yeah, okay. Okay, so MUI8 month equals, and really I should be doing this with initialize list. I don't have to initialize it twice. So MUI8, let's just paste this again. Yeah. Okay. That's tedious to fix. Have the actor, stir actor, I'm gonna say. Okay, stir method for damage. Okay. What was I doing? That distracted me. Right over here I need to... I don't need to do this even, but might as well. Okay. So I'm going to say something like void add damage uint for t for damage. I'll say uint for t for oops bit damage void const no accept. This is also going to be a no accept, but not a const. Why did I just do that? Okay. Boom. So I have to construct it such that it has a... I'm going to push. I have to construct it with a actor name, the method of doing damage. I kind of don't really care about the method of doing damage though. Although I could be more granular and say like each person did this much DPS with this method. But I wouldn't really want to store that in here. I want to have different class instances for the same actor that use different methods. Either that or I want to associate the method with the damage, which I could do inside the class. I'll do that. I'll say standard unordered, ordered app. It's going to be standard string to uint64t damage. Okay, so method to damage. That'll work. So I'm going to include unordered map again. Yeah, that'll work. And this is a member, so it's a mum. That's funny. But that means I don't just want this anymore. That needs to go away, right? Yeah. That also means I need to take both of these. The actor is always going to be the same. But when I'm adding damage, I need to know how much damage it was, what the source of the damage was. And that should be it. Yeah. So these need to go away. Okay, I do want the method, I don't want the... Yeah, okay. Those need to go away. Cool. So now I can say... Where is it? That. So, stir method. So whatever the method was, we're going to get the damage current value from that, and we're going to add to it USD4 damage. Now, if it doesn't already exist, it's going to be added with some default value. But if I want to be really explicit about it, I could say that, what is it? That.find. If finding this, stir method equals that end, and we don't have it yet, so we can create it. So stir method equals 0. Otherwise, actually it doesn't equal 0, just equal the value. 64 damage. Otherwise, it's going to plus equal that. So I could do that and be more explicit about it, but it should be defaulted to 0 anyway when it creates that element. Okay, when I do get damage, it should be based on a type. So what I really want here is something like a standard unordered map of type of damage to 54t, the amount of damage. So I'm just going to return a reference to that. Return a reference to this unordered map. Okay. And when I clean up the class with the destructor, there's really nothing to delete, so it should be fine. Okay, so we have pumper get damage, pumper add damage. Yeah. I also want to reorder this. I want the year to come first. I find that kind of annoying, so let's do that. Same thing here. Okay, so year, month, day, hour, minute, second, actor. Yep. And then we add damage by the method and how much damage we did. Okay, and this needs to be standard unordered map of standard string, which is the method, up to, not up to, but referenced with, or associated with, which references to some amount of damage that was done by that method. Okay. So now what I can do is I could have a vector of these pumpers, kind of like a rate of people. So standard vector. I don't think I made a vector yet, but pumper, vec, pumpers. Yeah. So vector. Nice. Alright, so when I parse a pumper, let's actually add that to the vector. So we get the matches, it matched. We parse these things out, we show them. Let's actually use those values. So vecpumpers.mplace back. Okay. What I'm going to pass it is the arguments to that constructor, which is UI16 year, UI8 month, UI8 day of month, UI8 hour, UI8 minute, and UI8 second. Okay, then the actor. So stir actor. But that's going to give me more than one instance for each. Yeah, so I don't really want to do that. What I want is just a regular map of this. I'm going to say map pumpers. Yeah. So if, I don't already have that, if map pumpers dot find, I'm going to say stir actor equals map pumpers dot end. That doesn't exist yet, so we're going to add it. Otherwise, it does exist. So I'm going to say else map pumpers dot, or sorry, not dot, but stir actor. This isn't in place back anymore. Now in this case, it's just going to be stir actor. It's going to equal this new instance. So pumper. There we go. Yeah. Okay. In this case, I'm going to say add damage. I think it was the source, which is stir method, and then the total damage to 64 damage. Let's double check that real quick. When I add damage, what is it? It is the method, and then it's the damage. So that should be right, but now I want to have, instead of vector, I'm going to make this just a regular map. And the reason I'm using a regular map is when I actually show a list of pumpers, I want it to actually be alphabetized. So, yeah. Where am I defining that now? Right here. This will be a map of strings. So the name of the pumper to the pumper class, calling it map pumpers. Okay, now somewhere here at the end, I want to actually iterate through that. So I'm going to say for const auto, and have a key and a value. So this is going to be stir actor, right? This is going to be the pumper. I'll just say P for pumper. That's going to come from not vec pumpers, but map pumpers. Okay, I'm going to say standard cout. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do standard vformat2. I like this better. So cout. Come on. I'm going to say so-and-so did, or actually did whatever, slashes or slashed for that much damage. Points of damage. Okay. So standard make format args. I'm going to say stir actor. I'm going to say p.get damage. Beginning of damage is actually going to be unique for a given source. So I'm going to say standard unordered map. It's going to be standard string, which is the damage source, to method to damage some total damage from that source. Okay. Yeah. Now I need to say for auto it's going to be stir method and then OCT4 damage. Yeah. That's better. And I want this to be a reference, not a copy. Okay. So-and-so, the actor, which we have in the key, did so much damage by some source. So I'm going to do stir method as the source, and the amount of damage it did was UI64 damage. So let's see what I messed up now. I'll try and compile this. Oh dear. Looks like I used the wrong thing for a template, probably. So 89. No declaration matches a basic string to an int64. Or sorry, unsigned int64. String, unsigned int64t, reference, get damage. Really? Is it because I didn't do const? No, I did do const. How about when I'm actually getting the damage inside the function? Yeah, const no accept. Standard string, uint64t. And over here, when I defined it, get damage, const no accept. It's a string to a uint64t. When I get the damage, it's coming from the pumper class. That's right. So un method of damage. Method of damage is going to be standard string to unsigned 64-bit integer. That looks right. Oh, you know what? It takes a reference. Okay. Is that how I passed it over here? Yes, it is. Okay. That was the issue. Do this. Okay. What else did we get wrong? So on 90, discards qualifiers. Okay. And that's happening on 259, it looks like. Let's check out 259. It should be const no accept. I am doing const auto on both of these. And I'm referencing each of these as well. Oh, I'm not actually saying it comes from something though. That's kind of a problem, isn't it? That comes from um method to damage. Okay. Now what? So on 90, binding reference of type standard unordered map, a string to an unsigned 64-bit integer reference. So there's a reference to this unordered map type to const standard unordered map string. Oh, I see. So when I define this, it needed to be a const reference. That's fine. Whoopsie. So, okay, binding reference of type, same thing. Discards qualifiers. What qualifiers could I possibly be discarding? It is a const unordered map of this type reference called this, which equals the reference returned from that. I didn't put a semicolon there, which is kind of funny. I doubt that mattered, but yeah. Yeah, return method to damage. But if I go to that method, that should be totally legitimate. Yeah. It's returning... Oh, jeez. It's not actually returning a const reference. Wow. I really need to get my const on, apparently. Oh my. So now what? An instantiation of constant expression pair. So I'm getting a pair from something. On what line? I don't think I included it from line 6. That looks wrong to me. Where is it actually being used? Tuple, construct, elect traits, tree, bits, compare, bits. Required from here. Here we go. No, it's tuple. That's not what I want. Here it is, 205. Line 205. 205. So I can't just say it equals pumper, huh? Even though I'm actually passing it some arguments. That should be fine. So why is it complaining about that? I shouldn't be using a deleted function. It should be using the copy constructor, if anything. What if I do this? If I move it in... No. Man. I guess I can let it be default constructed, but I really don't like that. Pumper. I'll just let everything be initialized to 0 then. I don't like doing that. The way I'm creating it, I guess it has to happen. Okay. So we matched slave, we matched zone. This one matched. We printed out what happened. Okay. But now we should have some stuff down here that I'm printing out as well. So there should be something here at least. Standard cout. Pumper actor. We're going to say stir actor. No? Okay. What did I forget? Semicolon, like always apparently. I don't know why it's suddenly happening to me now. I don't usually forget stuff like that. So it is finding that, but then this loop here isn't actually finding any methods. So when I'm adding the damage, what am I doing here? Yeah. So inside of my unordered map, I'm saying this method equals that much damage, or if it already exists, doesn't reach the end, then add to it. That should exist. Okay. I'll say this person damaged with however many methods. That is going to be method to damage size methods. Zero methods. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, either way, if I need to create it, I do create it with some initial state. However, once it's created, I actually need to assign that damage. I'm only parsing one line, so the next time it would have actually parsed the damage from that. That would have been however much damage from the first line was short. So 13 points of damage right there. There we go. So if I parsed more lines, it would have added more to that. So what I think I want to do now is actually grab this stuff from a function. So let's do that. I'm going to say parse line, parse DPS maybe, I don't know. Parse line. Well, I already did parse the line. That's what this match is. So maybe I should just stick this whole thing right here, all of this, into a loop or something. So let's do that. Yeah, so parse file or something, we'll call it dot 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 dot. Oh. So let's do that. I'm going to say we have a function called parse file. I'll make it return a bool, just because it's possible line doesn't match. We have some issue. Right, so in this case I could say if it didn't match, false. Didn't match the string. I don't want to say that, so this will be a little easier to read too, because it's going to be closer to the wall. Getting there. Yeah. Don't need that anymore. And true, so it did match. So all I need to do, actually, when I'm thinking about this, is I need to not just push stuff into pumpers, but I also need to know, like, is this the start of some damage? It's going to parse a single line, really. And it's a DPS line that I'm doing here, but there's different kinds of lines I could match. I kind of need to return some kind of a type of line that I parsed. So I'm thinking I'll do something like an enum. I'll put it in the namespace. I'll call it ns log line types or something. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of long, but whatever. Log line type. Where am I? Okay, so I'm going to say unknown 0. But I'm going to say DPS equals 1, zone equals 2, slay equals 3. Okay. Now I have standard map of a standard string actor to a pumper. I want to reference that. Ordered map actor to pumper. What's really actor name? Like, whatever. It should be kind of implied. This needs to return enum. It's pretty small. I'll make it come from an unsigned 8-bit integer. That's how much storage it can have at 1 byte. So log. I did this whole thing here. Log line type. That's what it returns. So unknown DPS zone slay. This is going to be unknown. Yeah, and I kind of want to have a bunch of regular expressions I can pass here. This is going to be DPS line, standard regex, regular expression, call it slay line, standard regex, zone line. So both of these are going to end the fight right here. And this one right here is going to start it if it's not already started. So I kind of need some state too. Yeah, I think I'm going to have an output variable. It's going to be the time t. This is also an output variable, so let's see, out I said, in, should be able to be const, I think. Const. Okay, another output variable. I'm going to call this one time t reference tt timestamp. Alright, we're getting towards a good function here. So at this point we have unknown DPS zone slay. Well, if this matches, then we know this is going to be a type DPS. I'm going to return that. Yeah. So I kind of need to make this his own function specific to parsing this type of log line. This stuff right here is going to need to come out. TT timestamp, okay. Yeah. Equals this. Okay. So that's output now. I don't really need this anymore. So I'm going to get rid of that. But this I'm going to keep. And down here, I'm just going to preserve that for a moment, I think. Put it over here. Okay. I'm going to have a, time t, tt, then I'll call it. We have some regular expressions to pass. So I have re, what is it? DPS regex. I have an re slay regex, is that right? Where is that? Yeah. An re zone regex. Okay. And what am I actually passing down here? I have that tt then. I also have some kind of a map, that's right. An ordered map of, what do I call that? Actor to pumper? Or is it just pumpers or something? Map pumpers? Just map pumpers, okay. Which means I got it wrong in the function definition, so let's do that over here. It's a regular map. Yeah. Map. Pumpers. The comma thing. Okay, there we go. So now I can actually call this. But I really want to break this up into multiple types, so I'm thinking I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to put some of that logic below. There we go. Yeah. I kind of want to, geez, you know. I'll try these first, I think. So, if standard regex match, we're doing the stir line. I didn't actually put that in there. I need matches. Matches this. Then use that. Else, right? Else if this, and else we're just going to return parse DPS line, I'll say. It's going to be stir line, re DPS line, tt timestamp, and I need map pumpers. There we go. To do implement slay line parsing. Standard cout. Come on. To do implement zone line parsing. Should probably do that the other way around. Else, this is if. Okay, zone. Otherwise, if neither of those match, then it's this. So I need to be able to figure out if this is the first or if it's the the last. So it's one of these. I kind of need to say something to where it's going to store that. Yeah, I do need a line it's going to be an input const standard string reference dir line. Let's take that and put it up here too. What am I matching here? Stir DPS line is what I call it apparently. So let's just make that consistent, DPS line. Okay. Do I even want to do this? Huh. I kind of want to just call this like parse DPS line or something. I can test this later much more easily. Yeah. So let's do this. We have a DPS line. The thing that I'm parsing here is really just, what is it? What do I call it? It is DPS line. Nice. Okay. What do I call this regular expression? Is it DPS line? Where's the regular expression? DPS regex. Regex. Map pumpers is just called map pumpers. It's already passed by reference. The timestamp's already passed by reference. And it's tt then, I'm going to call it. Okay. So I guess the question now is if we're starting or ending. So I kind of want to have a state here. I want to say something like, you know, while whatever, we're doing this stuff. So, you know, while true or something, or while I can get a line. Okay, while we're still parsing lines from the log file. Let's say this. We have some kind of state like bool in combat, let's say, is false. So that I can say if, in fact, I'll do this over here. Let's say combat start. Right. In fact, I can just do this. Combat end, also 0. Okay. So if combat, wait, no, be in combat, then we're going to try to see if we're no longer in combat. That's what I should be doing. Okay, so the combat end is going to be this. This will be combat start. Okay, so if either of these match, it's going to fill that. And combat ended. Okay, if the combat ended, combat end detected. Do that for now. Otherwise, that's not quite right though, because if we are in combat, we still need to add the lines anyway. Yeah, so what I need to do here is we need to continue if this matched. So if it's not a DPS line, one of these matched, then we continue. We also need to deal with the total damage on this fight. So at this point I should be saying to do show the DPS from all of the actors, what do I say, categorized by each of the damage sources methods. Okay. Yeah, that seems fine to me. Parse, let's say combat end. I'll even call it try parse maybe. I don't know. I'll see parse combat end. It'll return true if it does. Okay. So what am I actually doing here? Am I capturing anything? Yeah, I am capturing like the date and stuff, so I need to grab some of the same stuff I have here, which is this. Right, okay. So if not, so if I did do this, I can use that. Otherwise I have to use this one. So I'm going to say here is bool be matched is false. I don't even need to initialize it because it's going to be used here. So if be matched equals this. So I'm assigning it, and if that's true, then whatever, done. So be matched. Okay. In fact, I can do that even better. I'll say if this didn't match, then we're going to try to do this. And if this didn't match, then neither of these is going to work, and we're just going to say return. I'm going to say false. I'll make this easier. I don't need to have any enum here. Yeah. I'm going to do something up here. I'm just going to make this as simple as possible. Simple solution is the best solution. This will be a false because it's not the kind of line I want it to be. And down here should be a true. Okay. Down here it's going to return true. Okay. Now I can actually get that just like this. So, what did I pass here? Is it called TT timestamp? It is. Okay. We have all the same variable names because I copied it from there. And this month hasher doesn't actually exist in here, so I need to pass that too. I'm going to say const month hasher reference imh month hasher. Alright. Do the same thing over here. Yep, being passed by const reference, that's good. Cool. Imh month hasher. And down here, same thing. So what I want to do here now is I want to actually look at the time elapsed. I have that saved somewhere around here. Where is it? Right here. That's where I put it. Okay. Paste that right there. I'm not going to space it over yet because I'm going to be refactoring this in a minute. Okay. The elapsed seconds is going to come from, where is it? End. It's combat end I called it. And then combat start. Okay, let's take a look at that. See how much stuff I got wrong. That was a lot of changes. Doesn't know what in and out are. That's an easy one to fix. Okay. If not defined, in. We're going to define in and diff I said, and out, define it, and if not defined, out, define out, and diff. Now let's try. Okay, we have line 140, DPS regex, DPS line, so 140. What do they actually call this? Yep, regex. Come on. Okay, so we have 148. Discards qualifiers, so 148. Right, that should be fine. It doesn't need to discard any qualifiers. So I need to go into my month hasher CPP operator. This is going to be const method. It's going to be no except. Okay, and month hasher.h operator. Okay, let's do a const no except. No, test CP. Okay. Okay, we have test 148. Discards qualifier still. I disagree. 148. Passing const month hasher is this. So, oh, for generating the hash, really? Okay, fine. Month hasher CP. Where is it doing that? So generate month hash. Here it is. This needs to be a const no except. Okay, generate month. Here it is. Const no except. I could even do a no discard if I wanted, but I'm not going to. Okay, 160. Not declared in the scope. 160. Oops. I want this 160, okay. And where am I right now? I'm inside of parse DPS line. Yeah, I don't really need to show that anymore. So I'm just going to not show that anymore. I could pass a reference to that, but I'm not going to right now. So 226 matches not declared in the scope. 226. Right, so I need standard S match matches. Okay. Oops, get rid of that too. And you do that. 3 for 1. So 310, parse combat end. So what do I actually call it? Yeah, right here. Parse combat end. Okay. 312. Invalid initialization of reference type, const standard string reference. Okay, so 312. Where's that actually being used here? No, 312. Okay, so we have month hasher, slay and zone, pumpers, combat end. I don't need pumpers here at all. It's just a waste. I also don't need the DPS line, just slay and zone. Yeah, okay. So 310. Okay. Invalid initialization of reference type const string pointer, or reference rather, from type regex. So let me check the type it's taking. I'm just gonna copy the signature over here. It was line 310, I believe. 310. This is what I should be doing. So I have a month hasher. I'll have the actual line right here. Okay. It's gonna be stir DPS line, let's say. It's gonna be the wrong one. Stir, what is it, a one? Zone line? And stir slay line, something like that. Okay. We have slay and zone. And then we have timestamp for combat end. Okay. That's right. Okay, 327. It's not in a loop, right? Not actually doing that. So put a bunch of these in front of it so I don't forget it later, because that will come up. So 330 has not been declared. Fair enough. 330. I changed that to be a true and a false. Okay, so we bool b DPS line parsed equals this. So if B combat is started, where is it? BM combat. Well, really, regardless of that, it equals true now, right? Equals... No, I can't do that. It's true if this is true. Whether or not it was true, it's going to become true if this is true. But this is B DPS line parsed. But it might be something other than like a zone or a DPS line. So I can't set it to whatever this is because it could be some other type of thing I'm not parsing. Like someone looting an item or something. Okay, test. Okay, you can see it's still working here. You slash for 3 points of damage. Cool. So let's try and make it parse something other than a DPS line here. It should say combat undetected as well. Does it say that? I don't see that anywhere in here. It's only a test. These match. That's the expression I'm trying to use for DPS. And this is after everything. Okay, so this never seems to happen. Parse combat end. Where's that happening? Okay. So if not this, then try this. And if not this, false. Otherwise, one of these worked. We're continuing. We're getting this and returning true. So one of these should match. What am I passing it though? A DPS line. Okay, that's why. Right. Good. So do this. I'll put this over here. I'll make sure all these work. Doesn't like that. Okay, so 311. It's not called zone line. What is it called? Oh, just stir slay and stir zone. Okay. Stir zone, stir slay. Okay, where's my clear? There we go. Now it should work. And I still don't see it matching with anything. Okay, let me check this real quick. Slay line, zone line. It should be regex, not line, but yeah. Regex. Regex. So stir line. That's right. Matches. RE slay. Regex. Regex. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm. I really do expect this to match. Okay, let me standard see out. Slay didn't match. Standard see out. Zone didn't match either. Standard see out. Either slay or zone matched. Don't know which one, but I could tell because it'll say this didn't match, and this will appear if zone. And if neither of these show up, then it had to be slay. Okay. Before we turn 228, okay? 228. Right here. Okay. I am calling parse combat end, right? So for in combat that happens, but we're only parsing one line. So that's not going to be true. That's why. Okay, so it probably was working. It's just that, let's say true. We are in combat this time. Okay. And you can see slay didn't match, either zone or slay. So yeah, so slay didn't match and either zone or slay matched. So if either zone or slay matched and slay didn't match, then it had to be zone. And what was I testing for? I was testing for zone, so that's right. Okay, let's try slay this time. Okay, so now we have either slay or zone matched. It didn't say slay didn't match, so it had to be whatever the first one was it checked. Slay, so it had to be slay then. And if I look over here, we're checking Slay. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, well I think in the next video, since this one has gone on for so long, I'm going to start breaking this up into a function call, and I'm going to have a class object which tracks the state. Are we still in combat, or are we not in combat anymore? Whenever we detect that we aren't in combat anymore, we're actually going to dump out the statistics, all the DPS that each person did until some entity died, or until the person whose log file this is happened to zone or die themselves. We can't parse a fight that kept going without us, because we weren't there to see it. Anyway, if you have any comments or suggestions, please post those. Any criticisms, those too. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Consider maybe subscribing if you want more content like this. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.